And welcome to the CTN Sports Game of the Week. I'm Kevin Bryant, joined with Pete Poyer for the Huron River Rats as they host the Skyline Eagles. Pete, the River Rats have not lost a game this year. They're 12-0-1, tied one game against the Pioneers across town. And for Nikki Barrett's Skyline Eagles, they're 8-3-2. So we should see a pretty good match between two of the stellar field hockey teams in this state tonight. Good evening, my friend.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And it's a amazingly wonderful October evening for some field hockey, Kevin. The weather is really unbelievable. It'll get a little cooler as the sun goes down, but it's pretty nice right now.
Yeah, and for these two teams, this is perfect weather because you don't want the elements to get in the way of two evenly matched squads. For both of these teams, they have expectations of playing right here on this field, Pete, a little later in the month in the state championship.
Well, Kevin, what do you see? Do you see a shootout or do you see a low-scoring match today?
Well, looking over both of the records and looking at their results, the River Rat squad has been putting up some major numbers. Last four games, 9-1. 8-0, 7-0, and then a quick close match against Cranbrook where they were 3-1. So they're not ashamed of putting a lot of points on the board, and usually from this position here on a corner.
Play is restarted. Skyline trying to defend the Huron attack there.
That was a great
successfully
job.
Doing so.
Yeah, it's a great job by the Eagles. Already it looks like for the River Rats, so they're going to have their second corner. And as you know, Pete, this is how most of the goals are scored in field hockey, off of these kinds of sets, because there's only three defenders back there in front of the netminder for the Eagles.
Play started again. Again, Skyline comes out aggressively. Ball right in front of the net. Knocked away by the goalkeeper. And they finally, Huron cashes in, and they score the first goal of the match and make it 1-0.
Nakasa Andu on the shot there from just outside the point, probably about a 12, 15-yard shot, Pete, and she really whacked it and got it through. Kind of a ground ball, didn't take too much air, and she really did a good job of getting it by the netminder for the Eagles. And here we come on that quick replay. You can see it a little bit late, but Andu actually gets our scoring going, Pete.
All right, Huron right back at it. And ball is out of bounds. And the ball is retrieved.
And now this is a separate corner from the opposite. Kind of almost in the wheelhouse of your right-handed shooters coming from this side.
Play is restarted. A little bit of a whiff there. And Skyline on it to defend. And they score again. Make it 2-0.
Looks like that was a redirect on a shot that was in the air. Still trying to catch the number of the person that scored. And it looks like it was number 2, Saab, on the redirect. We can keep an eye on her. She comes in. She's right on the baseline. And here it comes right after this shot, redirect. That was an awesome goal.
Well, back down the other way. First time into the Huron defensive zone for the Eagles. And a quick whistle and a foul. Ball is intercepted. And Huron will take it back the other way. Ball was out of bounds, so Skyline will restart the play.
Cowell on the trigger there for the Eagles. Before the game, Pete, we had a recognition of both teams' seniors for senior night. Nice sportsmanship for the River Rats, bestowing that honor on their crosstown rival.
Very nice. Well, and as I had heard that they were dedicating the game to all the girls' years of hard work and dedication to the sport. As I'm sure only a limited number go on to college and play field hockey in college. So this is I don't want to downgrade or anything, but it's more of an ancillary sport that the girls play to keep themselves in shape for other sports.
It really is it's a unique sport in that it combines so many different skill sets from other sports, borrowing even from lacrosse, hockey, a little bit of volleyball, basketball action as well. Soccer, golf. I mean, it really is a combined
multi-dimensional.
Dimensional, and I was going to actually just say skill set or something around what these athletes have to go through because, they can't hit the ball with the back side of the stick. It always has to be the front side of the stick. One of the good rules in this sport is that there is limited contact, so you see some clean play as well, too.
Ball being battled for at midfield. Now Skyline will move it down, trying to get some offensive attack going as they've not had a shot on net yet. We're 6 minutes into the first half.
Last year for the Eagles, they were led by Abby Hutton. She was the area player of the year of field hockey, so they really are replacing one of the not just their team, but one of the school's best players of all time. How did we forget croquet? What am I talking about, man? You help me out here.
Hitting it through the wicket?
Yeah.
Croquet.
See, now you're going to break out those kind of terms on me. The wicket, is that really a term?
Those are the little wire things you put in the ground that you hit the ball through.
Really?
Yeah, it's called a wicket.
A wicket?
Yeah.
I worked with a wicket before.
He was a bit of a sticky wicket, wasn't he?
He was a squeaky wheel, I tell you that.
I'm familiar with the young man you're talking about. Play is stopped after a whistle. Huron will restart the play.
It's one of the co-captains there for the River Rats, Anna Conley.
She gets it by the Skyline players, but it stopped at the midfield area. The Eagles will try and work it back down, try and get an opportunity on net here. Down 2-0. 22-22 to go in the first half. There's a quick shot, a little bit of a whiff there, but defensive stop made by the defender.
It's kind of like stick hockey, too, back in the day, Pete. I know you know what stick hockey is, playing that box hockey,
Floor, we called it floor hockey.
No, that's one of the entire floor. I'm talking about, there was like a 10-inch box or 10-foot box that you would stand in. 10-inch would probably be too short for you. But a 10-foot box, a little hole on each side. You can, show your puck handling skills going back and forth. And it was a one-on-one type of game, I think.
Yeah, and very close quarters.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. I think you know exactly.
Played a lot of floor hockey in my day. Played a little intramural floor hockey in college, actually.
Okay. So here's the fourth
scored on a
opportunity.
breakaway, which is really hard to do because the floor is quite small in space.
Okay. Was it a good moment for you?
Oh, probably the highlight of my sports career.
Wow, sorry to hear that. I kid because I love you.
It was really hard to do to get open because it was limited space. So
yeah.
I jumped over a guy's stick and scored on the short side.
Man, at your size, I'm thinking you would have liked some contact. Maybe a little elbow shiver.
Well, there was a point where some guy put his stick between my legs to try and stop me, and I broke his stick.
Oh, man. Well, the Rats have been very aggressive to open this match so far, really taking over as far as the possession and really peppering the net.
And the Eagles have really been pretty much back on their heels. They've only had one instance where they were down close to the Huron net. Did not get a shot on the net, on the goalkeeper, so far in this match.
And it looks like Amelia Greco is in the net for the Eagles. She's been busy. And this is about the 5th time that the River Rats have been awarded a corner.
All right, Huron with another opportunity here on the Skyline net. Play has started. Skyline tries to come out and defend. And a stop is made.
Good job there by
gets
Greco.
Possession.
Sorry about that, Pete.
That's all right. 19:29 to play here in half number 1. We have a timeout on the field.
Nice crowd we have here for senior night. You see the stands are, kind of not sparse, but it's
peppered with people.
Peppered. See, I need you. I need you to finish. You complete me, Pete. I start the sentence, you end it.
I've got a suggestion for you.
Okay.
Do crossword puzzles. It
Really?
will really increase your vocabulary. Absolutely.
Nice. Crossword puzzles. I'm going to put that on the to-do list.
And you can start with the easy ones. You don't have to go to the New York Times. Just start out with the easy ones, and it will build your word power.
Okay, now. I said
Either
that like I wasn't going to do it, didn't I?
Either that or word of the day toilet paper.
Nice.
That'll help too.
Yeah. Or we could look up, catch more action of the CTN Sports Game of the Week.
You can watch us, and you could pick up a word or two maybe you don't know about from me.
Well, especially on that crystal clear high definition, or is it widescreen?
Both.
Really?
It's both.
You're kidding.
No, not at all.
Awesome.
It's beautiful
and if
on
you
YouTube.
When you subscribe, do you get like a notification if they upload a new game?
Kevin, you know more about this than me. Absolutely you do.
Nice.
So you can never miss a CTN sports event, a game of the week, at any time.
And I hear this year that this crack producer that they call Rob Cross is putting together a highlight of a replay highlight of the season. So you students out there can get, vote on the best play, the top play that you felt at the end of the year, and we can recognize that player again. So you have another task to do while you're watching this game. Keep your eyes peeled, especially at that end of the game interview. Really like that
whoever the player of the game is.
Yeah.
And don't forget to sign up on Twitter.
Okay. Facebook?
KB Sports Guy.
Oh, at KB Sports Guy is a good guy to follow on Twitter.
That's right.
And now we're back to action.
Mine is Poyer_Pete. If you want to follow anything I do on Twitter, Kevin's is really kind of cool. He's got a lot going on Twitter.
Well, now that you've put out the word of the crossword genius, people are going to be throwing different crossword, words at you now.
Like vicissitude?
Yeah.
How about esoteric?
That's too simple for these Ann Arbor students,
Hey, sometimes you got to start somewhere. It's all about building your word power.
Well, right now, the Eagles are trying to build up some of their defensive power. They've been on the defensive side of this match the entire game, and they've been doing a good job. Only 2 goals allowed off of 7 corners.
Riverettes trying to get another opportunity. Skyline defending. And the whistle blows, and Skyline will take over.
Another one of the attributes of these athletes is you really can't hide the ball by your body. So each person out there has an opportunity to go for the ball. So, I mean, again, speed, hand-eye coordination, and strength are just, qualities that these young ladies possess, and you can see why they're some of the top players in the state right here.
Well, Huron takes over after the foul, and they try and move it all the way downfield.
See some good discipline there out of the Riverettes, keeping their lanes as they came down to get that ball.
Another whistle and another stoppage in play.
And unlike a lot of sports, you don't get a lot of action out of the referees trying to signal in over towards the bench or the scorer's table what that infraction was.
17:01 to go in half number one. Play is right in front of the net. Scramble for the ball.
That's dangerous, getting down there on your knees, man, with all that action going with those sticks coming at you. A lot of courage out of these young ladies.
Well, and the field hockey stick is a pretty sturdy one. You get smacked in the knee or something or an ankle.
Oh, that's a
You're going to feel it.
It's not even like it doesn't give as much as a hockey stick would give.
Another whistle and stoppage of play.
I thought they were playing cricket for a minute there. They both kept tossing the ball back and forth.
Cricket, now that is a game that is a complete mystery.
Yeah, baseball and field hockey, maybe? What would you combine it with?
I don't know. A long pass downfield, race for the ball.
Rose Bogard there for the Eagles, hustling down the field. And she'll trigger it looks like.
Knocked out of bounds by Skyline, and Huron will get it back. Going back to your play of the year, Kevin, I've already have picked mine.
What was that?
And, well, I'm not going to say because there's still some games on our schedule.
You don't want to skew the voting.
Well, and we still got some games. I might be more impressed by what's to come. Don't know. It is, to me, it's one of the most impressive things I've seen in this year at all.
Okay, now.
Maybe in a few years.
Okay. Tantalizing tease there.
So I will, when the time comes to vote, I'll put my vote in.
Well, I mean, I hope so.
Absolutely.
You probably have to
But
be
if you've been watching the games on CTN Sports, I think one in particular to me stands out quite a bit.
Okay. High sticking action there. Ball will be turned back over to the Eagles. A stingy defense out of these Riverettes, Pete.
I think at some point Skyline has got to change their mindset from a defensive standpoint to something more offensive. They haven't really pressed the Huron defense very much at all in this match so far. It's been all Huron, really. Only a few runs down the field for the Eagles. So we'll have to see as the match plays out whether they change it up a little bit and try and get more offensive pressure on the Huron goalkeeper.
And on the flip side of that, for the River Rats, Coach Hall, her team is really executing game plan to the T, keeping the pressure on the Eagles and not allowing them to maybe set up their offense. And being awarded so many corners, the Eagles have to get rid of those errors and those self-inflicted wounds if they really want to flip the table here.
Well, and as far as Huron goes, you know, their game plan is maybe to set up those corners to give themselves more opportunities to score. That may be their whole game plan all year long. Skyline will move it down.
It's kind of a mishit there.
Intercepted by the Huron defender. Now Huron will get it back and try and move it quickly downfield. Intercepted there by Skyline. And back and forth we go.
Good spacing there by the River Rats, where you're not seeing too many of them clutter into one area and allowing them to find teammates by keeping that spacing and really thinning it out the defense of the Eagles.
Oh, Huron trying to move it through the Skyline defense as a breakaway. Right in front of the net. And another score for Huron.
Katarina Gunther there on the goal. 28 for the River Rats. Right through the 5-hole of Greco, the goalkeeper for the Eagles. It's a good overall play there from the River Rats. Sharing the ball and then executing when you need to.
Well, these undefeated River Rats picking up where they left off, just scoring on the whoever they're playing, and looking like the best in the state, really.
Now for the River Rats, they definitely want to keep the pressure on and not fall into a false sense of security with this 3-0 lead. Still a lot of time in the first half as well as the entire match. And right now, Pete, I think the difference is the River Rats keeping the pressure and being awarded just short of 10 corner triggers. Probably the difference in this match so far.
9:45 to play here in the first half. Huron with all of the scoring so far. They lead it 3-0. Hope you're enjoying all the action here on CTN Sports. I'm Pete Poirier along with Kevin Bryant with all the play-by-play action for you. And Huron will break it out and bring it downfield. Huron threatening again. And on the whistle, they turn it over, and Skyline will have the possession.
Nakasa Andu, number 20 for the River Rats, was unable to keep her balance on that attack. Again, the Eagles are just hamstrung trying to get that ball out of their own side.
It's been a difficult time for them to relieve the pressure from the Huron offense.
Quick shot there of Nikki Barrett, the coach, right behind the Huron player. First time these teams have met this year, Pete. So after facing off twice last year and going back and forth, actually they tied the last game over at the Eagles Stadium. But even on a good fording pass like that, you can see the defense of the Riverettes is right spot, right time.
And it doesn't matter what side of the field they're on. They seem to make the right play at the right time to intercept those breakout passes that Skyline has been trying. Ready to restart play again.
Kind of looked like my golf swing right there. See how the ball only traveled about 10 yards, you know, get a little piece of the ball. That's usually what my drive does.
Yeah, a little duck hook left.
Not even the hooking, just duck.
Oh, so it's straight. It's just short.
It's straight and short, yeah.
Huh? I've been on the links in a couple of years.
Yeah,
I do like playing.
I mean, I'd love to play golf. It's just not in the cards.
Well, in my case, I had a cast on my left foot for over a year, so that wasn't any fun.
Well, I did have a cast, but some people thought I did by the way I was swinging.
Well, maybe after the game you go down in the field, pick out your player of the game, and maybe she can
give me a
few
lesson.
Pointers. Yeah.
Nice. Pretty sure each of these young ladies could probably hit the ball further than me. Maybe I should play with one of these larger, you know, balls, and then I could, you know, be able to keep my eye on it. I'm already half blind.
Keep your head down.
Ah, see, now you're giving me all kinds of things to work on. Crosswords, keep your head down.
It can be tough being a wealth of information.
I understand, but you do it so well.
I haven't gotten on Jeopardy yet, though.
You know what's confusing, and I know these young ladies understand, hey, look at that, somebody lost a shoe. But how you can keep track of all of these lines that are out there on the field to know if you're inbounds or out of bounds has to be, that has to be a class, maybe 6 hour, to go over the lines on the field to figure out where you're at and what it matters. I mean, you got football lines, soccer lines, lacrosse lines, field hockey lines, and they're all different colors. That's amazing.
Well, that helps know which one is which.
Yeah, look at the double circle line. That's like me driving. I mean, that's not. Well, that was one of the only opportunities for the Eagles to take the ball into their offensive side and really didn't mount any kind of attack.
Yeah, the Huron defense was right there to stop the play and move it the other way.
Here's a good job there by Greco going down to the ground and using her body to block that shot.
We're under 4.5 minutes to play until halftime.
And again, the Riverettes have shut the Eagles out on these corner triggers. This has to be about the 12th one.
Play is restarted. There's a clean shot. The ball is bouncing in front of the net.
Conley with the redirect right at the net, but Greco, for somehow, she put that stick up in the air and redirected the redirect off of the crossbar. this is the kind of fortunate luck that the Eagles need to dial more up of, Pete. Here comes a shot. Redirect. And actually, you want to give that to number 17. Zoe Clouderbuck.
Once again, play right in front of the net. Greco came out to try and play it. They restart the play. Intercepted by Skyline.
High
Another
stick
whistle
call there. Yeah, you can see that was obvious. And another corner. Let's take a quick look.
Really,
at
if it weren't for
play.
the play of the senior Amelia Greco, this game would probably be more goals for Huron than there is on the board right now. Is 3.
Well, you saw it right there on that play of Greco coming out about 20 feet outside the net and making a stop with her knees, and that's the second time we've seen her just give her body up for her squad.
Well, play is restarted. Long shot out from out top. Greco trying to cover up there.
And the Rats just have so many opportunities where they have, 8 on 5, really, from all of these corner triggers.
Under 2 minutes to go till halftime. Huron putting on the offensive pressure time and time again. I think it's only a matter of time before they score yet another goal.
And the Rats keep trying to move it over to their left, so their strong side is nearest to the net.
And that was deflected and into the net for the 4th goal for the River Rats.
Wow, I want to see that one on replay because it kind of looked on the outside of the net, and even the Skyline defender had to retrieve the ball from behind the net. But on this replay, let's take a quick look. On the second shot here, and this one bounces, and it's a redirect, unfortunate, off of one of the Eagles. It still looks outside the net there, right? That's kind of weird. Yeah,
It might have been in and out so quickly.
Yeah, we should take one more look at that. I mean, you can see Greco over in the corner. Maybe there's a hole in the netting. Hey, there is a hole in the netting behind the back. So it does go in and score, but then it pops back out.
So it went through the net.
That's a tough shot,
A
right?
little bit deceiving there.
Too much pepper on there. Nice. But unfortunate effort by the Eagles trying to stop that shot.
Clock winding down on the scoreboard. Under 40 seconds to play. No sense of urgency from the Eagles to try anything as the half starts winding down here. Under 20 seconds now. A lot of players just standing around. Now Huron will restart it. Under 10 seconds.
Ouch, Aroni.
And that's going to do it for the first half. And we go to the half with all Huron River Rats leading 4-0 over the Skyline Eagles. We're going to take a break and be back with second half action right here on CTN Sports.
In residential areas surrounding the University of Michigan, it's commonplace to see upholstered furniture on porches. So I'd like to talk to you about the dangers of combustibles on porches. To sustain a fire, you need three things: fuel, anything combustible or flammable; heat, an ignition source; and oxygen. For a fire to ignite and continue to burn, all three elements must be present. Porches do not have early warning devices like smoke detectors. And with a fuel source like old sofas, chairs, and trash storage, this is a recipe for danger. Heat will radiate to the upholstered furniture, causing a rapid buildup of heat and gases. Fire needs oxygen to burn, and it will travel toward the nearest oxygen source. Fire can spread quickly, blowing out windows and spreading into a house. With a ready supply of oxygen, fire is allowed to burn freely. As long as a free-burning fire has fuel, it will double in size every 45 seconds. This fire burned rapidly, but upholstered furniture outdoors is even more susceptible to fire due to weathering, giving it the potential to spread at an alarming rate. Heat and smoke will rise to the highest point and then begin to spread outward to the ceiling of a room or up the stairs to the second floor, causing a chimney effect.
At ceiling level, temperatures in a fire can reach up to 1,400 degrees Fahrenheit. At this level, temperatures are around 800 degrees. That's why it's important to stay low. The first priority of the Ann Arbor Fire Department is the safety of all its citizens. So don't keep anything on the porch that can give a fire the fuel it needs to grow.
Battalion 2 to dispatch. Fire's under control. Everyone's out safe.
Hey, Peanut, guess what?
What?
Alicia is on Cam TV. Let's watch it.
I don't really feel like it.
Why?
Because I want to watch the interview with the mayor of Ann Arbor.
Well, guess what?
What?
Alicia is interviewing the mayor.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Okay, I'll watch it.
Yay!
And welcome back to CTN Sports presentation of the Game of the Week. It's field hockey. Huron with the 4-0 lead after the first half of play. And really, Kevin, it was all Huron in that first half.
Yeah, they really did a great job, Pete, of capitalizing on the Eagles' misfortunes and penalties, probably amounting to about 12 to 13 different corner entries for the River Rats right on the doorstep for the Eagles. And for the Eagles, they really have to change around their game plan here in this second half if they'd like to get back into the match. And as you alluded to, Pete, they have to really put the foot on the pedal for the gas of the offense. Right now, they're playing way too much defensive field hockey.
Yeah, I just think it's a little bit back on their heels. Really waiting for the River Rats to come to them too much. And they're going to have to switch that up in the second half if they want any chance of getting back in this match.
And the River Rats are playing with a little bit of extra momentum with it being senior night. That's something that's always special for each of their seniors are going to remember this. And what a save there. It's a good job by Lee Stewart in the net for the River Rats. Wow.
Well, and to cap that, Kevin, not only has Huron played well offensively, they've played really well defensively too.
Especially as a team unit, they really have not allowed the Eagles to possess the ball more than, less than a minute usually without the ball being returned back down into the Huron offensive end. Now look at Lee in the goal. She goes right in front of her. Now here it comes right here, this shot. No, I meant this shot. And here we go.
This is super slow-mo. Just gets it before it goes over the line. Nice diving stop on that play.
Yeah, a lot of effort there.
And just like the first half, the second half starts with Huron with an offensive set with a corner to try and score again. The River Rats are set. The Eagles are set. And we restart the play.
A little high stick action there by the River Rats. Kind of like old baseball, Pete. Hearing that the crack of the bat almost when these young ladies are winding up and using their stick to swat the ball.
Well, we talked in the first half about how sturdy that and hard that stick is. The ball is quite hard as well.
Yeah.
So you get hit by a flying ball, it's going to leave a mark.
Well, that's solid plastic. It's just under 6 inches in diameter. So, that truly can leave a mark. And they don't really have on that much protective equipment out there. Outside of some shin guards, a mouth guard, and something on their eyes to protect their eyes. But outside of that, no gloves. No helmet.
Because I can imagine taking a stick to the head or a ball to the head would be...
concussion city.
Exactly. Well, Huron trying to work it down once again. That's Skyline defending. And we have a whistle and a stoppage in play.
And Mita Tremonti there dribbling down throughout the entire defense of the Eagles. And that's something that the Eagles coach, Nikki Barrett, definitely wants to correct before the end of this match.
Well, both teams ready on the corner. And that was a quick whistle.
I think they hit it, the Rat, with the back of her stick.
Stop that offensive opportunity for the River Rats. Early here in the second half. Skyline still with an opportunity to get back in it. But they're going to have to start scoring.
Yeah, they're going to have to start pressing the action here and taking some shots. But this offense attack from the River Rats has just been relentless, Pete. Back and forth and back and forth. Each time the Eagles possess the ball, there's 2 or 3 different Huron defenders in the path.
It's been a really, really outstanding defensive effort by the River Rat ladies.
Real sound game. There's a good opportunity. Well, a good play by the Eagles defense. A lot of those times it's turned into a corner for the River Rats.
Oh, ball out of bounds, restarted by Huron.
It's good action there by the Eagles.
.24:30 to go here in half number 2. Nice stick handling work there.
You can see pinpoint passing, too, out of the River Rats, right on each other's sticks.
And Greco trying to knock it away. Fastball right outside the, what was that, the 10-meter line, and another score for Huron. Makes it 5-0 favor the River Rats. That is just not what the Eagles needed right there.
Big shot there by Mina Tramati, one of the captains for the River Rats here on senior night. Big shot there. That was probably the hardest shot we've seen so far. And off of the ricochet, no one could locate the ball. Here comes the shot up top.
On the defender, looks like she gets a little gun shy. It does get partially stopped, but she fails to get sight of the ball as it hits the ground and rolls over the line and into the net.
Yeah, it looked a little like the Eagle defender was a little bit shy to put that stick down on the ground and swat the ball out of there as well, too. But, again, that shot had some steam on it.
It was definitely a fastball from outside.
I think that's out of bounds.
Ball out of bounds. Possession of the Eagles. If the Eagles do go down to defeat here, they'll have a lot of lessons to learn from this match as they go on in their season.
Well, just looking over the River Rats results and out of their 13 games, they've only given up 3 goals the entire season. So if the Eagles are able to come back, I mean, that's an amazing feat. And pretty much the River Rats maybe would have been pulled out of the entire match because their defense just doesn't allow that to happen.
Very stingy. That'd be a monumental task to come back and win this game with 6 goals in the second half against this defense having allowed only 3 all year.
Yeah, and this is probably the exact opposite direction the Eagles want to go in by setting up to defend the corner. Things just haven't bounced right for them in this match so far. And they're going to need a momentum swing to get back in it.
There's another shot, and just wide.
Good job there by Greco, kind of using her foot to kind of get that ball to the outside, at least, you know, collapsing the area where the River Rat had a view of the net.
Change the angle of the shot just enough to keep that wide.
And see, that's the great job there by the River Rat defense of finding a man back on defense.
Or a woman.
Or a woman, or play, you know, just using that term as a sports term. But, you know, just finding where they needed to be, finding the player that they're guarding as opposed to keeping their eye off of the ball or taking their eye off the ball. Still only one real threat on the goal from the Eagles offense. You can see the defense there by Greco going down and just cutting off that angle.
And even if the angle had been right on net, Greco would have made the save. Her leg was right in the way. Well, play is restarted once again. Ten minutes gone, 20 to go here in half number 2. And a foul on the Eagle player, so Skyline will get the possession. They will restart it. Quickly shot out of bounds. Poor pass there, and that's pretty rare tonight.
Kind of like the field was tilted. The ball's just rolling right there in the corner.
Here, trying to move it downfield, gets by 2 defenders. And a whistle and a foul on Skyline.
Yeah, I think that's where that call of interference comes into play. You know, you see a person kind of shield off the other person, and the officials have been quick on the whistle. I know for all you Eagle fans, maybe a little bit too quick.
You're an advocate of letting them play?
Well, you know, at some point you got to, you know, maybe even just ref to the action, as opposed to, because it didn't seem like the defender really impeded the offensive player's movement.
It's intercepted by Skyline. Foul on Huron. Huron gets it back. Now pass into the center.
Good
shot on
defense.
net. It's blocked away by the defense.
You know, Greco goes down again to one knee with that block. And that Huron defense is stingy, making those Eagles think on every single play. You see Greco go down to a knee again. Couldn't corral that ball in, but did a great job of redirecting it outside of harm's way.
Now play right out in front of the Eagle net once again. Stoppage in play. And another corner for the Huron River Rats. Sound like a little bit of a broken record all night long.
It definitely has been the play du jour of the River Rats.
Word power, Kevin.
I was doing a crossword puzzle at half. It's in French.
Somebody asked you if you wanted the soup of the day.
Oui.
And you said, what is that?
She said,
it's a soup du jour. And you said, that sounds good, I'll have that.
Yeah, the Eagles aren't going to have to practice this defensive play. They've been doing it an entire game.
Yeah, this is not where the Eagles want to have their practice session on corners, is against an opposing team, especially one as good as Huron.
Mortel with the trigger.
That ball just missing the net.
Kind of looked like the play was set up for Kanza Handu. She came up with the shot.
15 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the second half. I'm not seeing as much scoring as we saw in the first half, but certainly the same kind of defense. And I would say the Skyline defense has gotten a little bit better in this half too.
Yeah, and maybe the Riverettes are starting to spread out and work on the clock as well too. But one thing that hasn't changed is the action has been still too much on the side of the Eagles defense for them to mount any type of comeback.
Ball forwarded up the field. That ball was out of bounds there.
And that was going to be a tightrope. She made it down there. I think that hit a hand on that time. Humpton. That swab, did it hit swab there? I thought it hit number 3 there.
Oh, it's kind of a bang-bang play and really hard to see it when the action picks up.
I bet she felt it.
Yeah, and you will feel it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Ball high in the air. Huron will take it back the other way again.
That's Megan Saab. Couldn't find anyone on that pass, though. Boy, the Rats are quick to trigger after you hear the whistle from the official, too. They don't allow that defense to set up. Look at that. See what I mean?
Well, it kind of looks like the Eagles are trying to just break it out downfield with a long pass. And the Huron defense has been right there to stop those long passes and bring it back the other way.
Actually, and also it might be a sign of fatigue as well, because you can be physically fatigued, mentally fatigued, where you're not making your decisions as fast. And that kind of is what I'm seeing on the reaction out of these Eagles right now. It's always easier, too, when you're up on the scoreboard to make quick decisions.
You see the scoreboard right there. It's winding down to 12 minutes to play here in the match. Huron leading 5-0 over the visiting Skyline Eagles.
Steph Currick with the trigger for the River Rats. Well, the Rats are really setting themselves up for next week's match against Pioneer Pete, another team, defending state championship team, which the River Rats pretty much probably have circled on the schedule. Of course, seeing as they tied the previous match that was on the schedule, 0-0. I think that match actually was postponed, so to see these two talented teams go 0-0 is not not really in the cards.
Very surprising.
Yes.
But a marquee matchup coming up between the two crosstown rivals as we know them.
And you can see it right here on CTN Sports Game of the Week. Wow, the Rats.
Right on the doorstep again. A quick pass and a quick goal for the River Rats, and that'll make it 6-0. That goal coming with 10:25 to play.
I believe that was Gunther. Swab. Yep, that's Gunther on the goal. Saab with the trigger.
That was a great job getting the goalkeeper out of position and having another player right on the doorstep to a wide open part of the net to pass it to.
And, you know, which is really pleasing for Coach Lauren Hall for the Rats is that there's been 6 goals put up by 6 different players. So there isn't, you know, one player that's slanted, one player that's the scorer, the shooter. It's everybody.
Very balanced attack by this entire team. It's going to make it difficult picking a player of the game.
Yeah, sometimes in these decisions you go with the person that scored a goal that may be a captain as well too, especially on senior night. Yeah, recognize the senior captain.
Sounds like you've got somebody in mind, Kevin.
I'm trying. Kind of. Whoa. That stick came up pretty high and close to the Huron defender. Good hustle there, keeping the ball in.
Well, Skyline really doing their utmost. They're not giving up. They're playing hard. Just not enough against this Huron River Rat team.
Yeah, the talent on the defensive side for the Rats, I think you said this at our half, well, actually the beginning of the second half, Pete. It's right up there with the offensive prowess of the Rats offense. Their defense is stellar.
Under 8 minutes to go.
That shot was a bit wide.
Ball is retrieved, brought back into the field of play. Eagles will start the play again.
Kind of a fancy attempt there.
Every time the Eagles have tried to move the ball into Huron territory, they've been stymied by the Huron defense.
And Huron's played pretty clean. Not a lot of penalties or infractions against the River Rats, thus keeping more possession of the ball.
Good stick handling, good passing. And they certainly have got the corner play down pat.
Well, they had enough opportunities, too.
A whistle and a foul on Huron. Stolen away by Huron. Huron wastes no time getting back the play back going again.
Yeah, they're quick to trigger the action after the whistle's been blown by the official.
And that's certainly a good ploy to try and get your opposing defense out of position, catch them back on their heels. There's a quick shot. And another goal for Huron. That'll make it 7-0. Favor the River Rats.
You're going to have to see the replay on that one to check the number on the shooter, because it actually went over the left shoulder of the netminder. I think that was Charlotte Happ.
That ball went top shelf. You know where they put the peanut butter is
Where's
top
that?
shelf.
Top shelf?
Absolutely.
Why they put it up
Kids
there?
got to keep the kids' hands out of it.
Gotcha.
So you got to go top shelf where the peanut butter is. And another play right in front of the Skyline net. This one knocked away. Looked like an eagle knocked it away, so Huron will keep the play down in the Skyline zone.
Now's the time of the game where everybody's trying to get on the stat sheet.
Another dangerous play right in front of the Eagle net.
This has almost been a half-court action, you know, if you're playing a half-court basketball pickup, because it's only been on the Skyline defensive side. Let's see here. There's another one.
Well, after the halftime, there was some good defensive play by the Eagles, keeping this at a 4-0 game, and then Huron finally finding the keys to unlock the Skyline defense once again and scoring 3 more here in the second half. Make it a 7-0 match. Three and a half minutes to go here in second half.
You see all the action on this side, and then on the other side of the field, that's the Huron netminder who's probably taking a nap.
What the camera hasn't shown you is that she sat down for a sandwich and something to drink.
Did her homework.
Did some homework. It's been a little bit of a lonely evening there for Lee Stewart, but you know, that's all good for the Huron players.
It's definitely a team effort. And Stewart on her one play went down to the ground and had an amazing stop.
So, and in these games you can get a little distracted because you don't have a lot of action. And the one time she was really tested came up big.
It was right there.
And preserved the shutout so far. Now under 2.5 minutes to play. I think Amelia Greco's favorite player is Wayne Gretzky, wearing that 99.
Well, she's doing a good job using her entire body to block and guard the net. Unfortunately, she's just been busy.
Well, and it's tough to guard that much area. That's a big net to try and cover all the area.
Yeah, you can see it on that perspective shot there, how much taller it is than the goalkeeper. You see the body language from both teams have kind of taken a step back on these waning moments of this second half.
Gearing it down a little bit, especially for the River Rats maybe.
The Rats will have one tune-up game before they'll face off against Pioneer over at Ann Arbor Pioneer on Monday the 16th. Whoa. There we go.
Shot.
That was a goal for the Eagles. Or was it a whistle blown? Looks like there was a whistle blown before that shot. There wasn't a goal.
Yeah, no tally for Skyline on the scoreboard.
Wonder why Lee just gave up on the ball.
In the last minute of play, last desperate effort for the Eagles trying to get on the board before the game ends. Would have liked to seen a little bit more of this type of pressure from the Skyline Eagles a little earlier as we close in on the final 15 seconds of the match. Skyline here can kind of take their time and just keep the clock rolling as we wind down to the final few seconds. And officially on the scoreboard, that'll do it for the game. One of the goals must have been disallowed as the scoreboard has it as 6-0 in favor of the Huron River Rats, and they will take the victory and continue their undefeated season. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more here on CTN Sports.
And welcome back to the CTN Sports Game of the Week. Minna is our player of the game. We were just talking about how I was going to screw her name up, so I'm super excited that I didn't. But why don't you tell us on senior night what it's like to get a win against your crosstown rival?
Oh, of course, it's the best thing in the world. I'm so glad we pulled out the win tonight because even though one of our seniors was unfortunately sick, we pulled out the win with one of our seniors here, so that was really awesome.
Now, you were just telling me that you're going to be playing the state on this field, but before that, you have a big matchup next Monday against Pioneer. What can we expect in that match?
Definitely a hard-fought, hard-playing game because last time we played them, it was very, very competitive and very physical as well. And I think we tied, so we're seeing who can win the next game. Actually, it doesn't count, sadly, for the competition for D1, but it is just a good game for us going into the state championship.
Perfect. Well, congratulations again on senior night, and we look forward to watching because that game will be our next CTN Sports Game of the Week. Pete, I'm going to throw it back up to you to close out this broadcast.
Thank you very much for that interview, Kevin. I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross, audio replay by Gage Shaughnessy, our computer graphics by Carl McCoy, and the camera people, as the night got chilly, Tim Nagai, Alicia May, and Joe Dahl. Thank you for all your great work. Once again, the final from Huron High School. It's Huron 6 and Skyline 0.